I still remember the night I confronted the woman who thought she was above the law, who thought she could share her twisted red flags and get away with it. I looked her straight in the eye and said, "You're not just a bad person, you're a danger to society." The room fell silent, and for a moment, I thought I'd gone too far. But I knew I had to speak up. I had to call her out for her disgusting behavior. It all started when we were all sharing our red flags, things that might be considered deal breakers in a relationship. Some of the girls shared things that were weird, but harmless, like not eating or being bad at driving after a night out. But then things took a dark turn. One girl admitted to losing custody of her son and not wanting him back. Another talked about threatening to hurt herself if she didn't get what she wanted. And then there was the girl who proudly proclaimed that she participated in organized crime and would have been in prison if she'd been caught. I tried to brush it off, thinking that maybe they were just trying to be edgy or provocative, but as the night wore on, I realized that these women were serious. They genuinely believed that their behavior was acceptable, that they were above the law, and that's when I knew I had to speak up. I couldn't just sit there and listen to them brag about their twisted behavior. So I took a deep breath and shared my own red flag, one that I knew would shock them. I told them that I had been a victim of bullying in high school and that I had finally found the courage to stand up for myself. And then I turned to the girl who had admitted to being a bully and I said, "You may think you're funny, you may think you're cool, but you're not. You're a monster and you deserve to be called out for it." The room fell silent, and for a moment I thought I'd gone too far, but then something unexpected happened. The other girls started to turn on the bully. They started to call her out for her behavior. And in that moment, I knew that I had done the right thing. I had stood up for myself, and I had stood up for what was right. As the night wore on, the woman who had admitted to participating in organized crime got defensive. She started to claim that she was just joking, that she would never actually do anything illegal. But I wasn't having it. I pulled out my phone and showed her the article about the people who had been caught and sentenced to prison for their involvement in the same crime. And then I said, "You may think you're clever, you may think you're above the law, but you're not. You're a coward and you deserve to be exposed." The woman's face turned bright red, and for a moment I thought she was going to explode, but then she just got up and left, leaving the rest of us to wonder what had just happened. As we all started to discuss what had just gone down, it became clear that I had won the contest. My flag was the reddest, and I was the biggest a-hole. But I didn't care. I had stood up for what was right, and I had exposed the truth. And in the end, that's all that mattered.